Guys, deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for having me. What was I going to talk about? Now, in life, well, specifically to YouTube and life, more so life for me, we tend to, I don't want to say blame other people for things, but for want of better words, I can't articulate it into any other way. I'm pretty sure many of you, whether you make content, whatever you do in your personal life, private life, in regards to earning a living, whatever in it, your hobby, whatever, it's nice to have support and things like that. And more often than not, it ties into your personal relationships and private and business relationships as well. I guess we always wonder why people aren't supporting. Why haven't I got to a certain point? Is it this person's fault? It's because of this. It's X, Y, Z. It's these dynamics in play. Now, for me, I don't just knock all of that. I mean, if we look at specifically to YouTube, I'm at a massive disadvantage. Clearly, I mean, this ain't the best of audio quality. It's not the best of visual quality. I don't exactly have unlimited resources or unlimited contacts to be able to leverage sort of things and play the game in many things. There's many different disadvantages and things like that. But if I personally don't get to where I want to be, then I blame myself. Yes, I can blame the dynamics that are clearly valid, which I've just said. Yes, I could play the stitch up game, which in life, and specifically again keeping with the example of YouTube, we all know it's not about what you know. It's about who's if you're not jumping around doing funny boy stuff and becoming a gimmick, you need to be with these big YouTubers and things like that. And pardon my language, dick ride and things like that. I'm never gonna be about that, innit? All of these things are at play, but for me, it's my fault if I don't get to where I want to get to in my private and personal life, purely because before I point a finger, there's four or so pointing back at me. So by that logic, there's something I could have done. It saves me a lot of trouble and again, it saves me a lot of issues questioning why people do things. Because even friends, like, they've done certain things or they've not supported certain things, and I've looked and I think you're a bit funny because, like, you just I don't know why you did that. Like, I've tried to kind of understand why people do certain things, but then I realized you'll never be able to understand why people do certain things. And then I realized that, again, just because you have a lot of people support people in the hope that they'll get shown it back. Again, I think that's a good thing and that's a bad thing. We all need to support each other, but if you're supporting to get that back to a degree, it's not necessarily sincere, is it? And I've also looked at it from a basis that you can't just rely on support. Like, the people that hate you will love you if you blow. The people that love you will grow to hate you. I mean, support is, we all need support, but I can't force people to support me in anything in life. And just because I've supported or just because I've done something for someone, I don't expect to see them saying things back. I do things with the knowledge of doing it just because I'm doing it. I don't expect it back, and that's just how life is. And at a point, and I'm sure a lot of you feel the same. It did bewilder a lot of you that you do certain things for some people and you won't get returned. And then I realized people are always gonna. And then I've read a lot of books and just realized in life, like, people are always going to put themselves first, myself included, and you lot. Humans are selfish. I've given you guys the example before. If there's five of us in a room, someone buys, not that I eat McDonald's anymore, but someone buys a Big Mac meal. We ain't eating for weeks, if that's even possible. We're starving. You might share that between people, and people might get fed, but people are not going to be devout. People are not going to be not going to be full. Their hunger is still going to be there. Where if you were to get that meal, you wouldn't care for the others. We're in a cutthroat world. People are selfish in the same way that by nature we're selfish. We're actually lazy by nature, and it's about identifying these things. People, when you realize why people do things, or not even why people do things, the possible motives behind it, it saves you a lot of trouble. Like, there's only so much energy I can put into my life in certain other I have to put into my life anyways, much less putting energy in places where it's not really valid, because you will drive yourself mad trying to wonder why people do certain things, why they behave in the way they do and things. Because some people, I'm sure they have their reasons. Some people do things just because they don't know any better. But trying to quantify why people do things, whether it's supporting, whether it's the lack of support, whether it's silence, whether it's just not returning the same favors you return, it will leave you mad. So for me, I take it on my own. If I don't get to where I want to go, it's because of me. It's I know my work rate, my drive, and all of that stuff. And again, I'm not knocking the factors, but it's going to be on me, because there's things I could have done better. There's things I could have not done. There's things I could have reworked things several times, and it just saves you a lot of trouble. Like, I'm very narcissistic. I can't lie to you people. I don't. Why do you think I don't watch half of these other YouTubers? Because I don't really care what they have to say, and that's why I always say to you guys, I wouldn't watch myself. Like, I don't necessarily care. I'm very fond of just having a close little peep with them. I mean, I've had to open up because obviously in this line of work, but I mean, I'm a very close knit person. If I know you, you'll see different sides of me. If I don't know you and I'm very quiet and calculated and things like that, because I don't typically friend up with everyone. I don't like people knowing my business. I don't like people telling me their business. I don't like people telling me their dramas. I got my own dramas. I don't like when people talk about other people to me and things like that, unless it's in a positive light. I never speak on anyone in a negative light if they're not there, or if I haven't said it to their face. These are the things. These are just for me. It's just easier to live this way, and don't get me wrong. Some people hate my guts, and it's rubbed me up the wrong way. And I've actually been at job interviews where they said your confidence is annoying. But the same logic, some people feel it, and that's how it is in life. Some people are gonna support, some people ain't. And I've seen it. Some people that I didn't necessarily chat to in college or school or in my early working life, they've heard I'm doing vids and they love it. Like, they love it. This is where I don't care about people's opinions. Like, the support thing's always annoyed me, like, because if I have enough drive in myself, enough envy in myself to, like, I can't quantify why people do certain things. So I very much blame myself in everything, to be honest with you. It goes against me, it goes for me, but that's the only way in life, in all aspects of my life, and personal and private, that I can rationalize things and move forward, rather than, if I get a problem, rather than sit and blame X, Y, and Z. Again, they might have contributed, and I'm not knocking them. I'm not saying completely forget. I'm just saying, rather than pour my energy at that, let's see what I could have done better, what I did wrong, how I could have maneuvered around certain things to avoid this necessary outcome, or what's actually been the case, and how can I move forward and then don't do that again. I'm a big fan of making mistakes, because I believe at my age I need to fail fast. And I'm trying to do that. I'm not a big fan of making a mistake twice, 3 times, because a mistake made more than once is a choice. Think about it. If you're a centre half, for example, you try to turn on the ball longer than, and keeping the ball longer than you had. Striker picks your pocket. You made a mistake. They can see the goal. All right, cool. That's an honest mistake. We don't know what you was doing. But if that happens the next week, the exact same example the next week, that's a choice, because with what's happened last week and needing to be more smarter, you chose to put yourself in the same situation and the inevitable outcome. Again, I have a lot of sympathy with a lot of hardships people go through. I go through my own, but I do think in this day and age of social media, there is a real lack of accountability, generally speaking. I don't want to sound like I don't have any empathy, because you people that watch me on a massive thing, I mean, been following me since I've had 100 subscribers. You know, I'm always there for the conscientious topics. I'm always there to support and talk about topics that are close to my heart and touch my heart. So I have a lot of empathy, but by that logic, I can be very cold to myself as well. I can be very cold, very cunning, and very calculated. Beneath all the jokes and stuff, and people in my personal life will say I'm always busting jokes and things like that, there's a calculatedness beneath me that I can't even explain to you. Like, I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of the 3 eyes, man. There's a you that the world knows. There's a you that the world knows, that your friends and family might know. There might even be another side to you, from your professional side to your working side. Your working side to how you are with your close ones. And then there's, for me, which is I like the most, is the third self, which I call, it's in your subconscious. Like, you can't really explain it. Like, it's calculating this. It's what consumes you. Dark nights, 4 p.m., 4 a.m. when you're thinking about dreams. It's about, for me, I can't explain it other than a lot of it comes from the tenacious approach in regards to YouTube, etc. Is a result of that third self of mine. Like, I do believe there's a part of you that you don't even know yourself, sort of thing. But I'm sounding like one hippie right now. So on that note, guys, the dude did get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest. I'm out. Thank you for watching.